Lawrence in Berkeley, California. Hey, Lawrence, what's on your mind?
Hey, how you doing? I was so happy to hear you talking about workers' co-ops in Europe and Mondragon, because to my mind, workers' co-ops are the real meaning of socialism. Socialism means ownership by society, not by the state.
Right.
And this was Marx's original intention. He said that state ownership would be like building the Egyptian pyramids by the state. And in the United States in the 19th century, the unions were all trying to create co-ops.
Yeah.
The Knights of Labor.
Well, and they did actually create quite a few. We had a lot of co-ops in the late 19th and early 20th centuries.
That's right. The Knights of Labor, their program was to take workers out of wage slavery and put them into co-ops.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, when the Soviet Union created what it called socialism, I mean, the worst thing that Lenin and Stalin ever did, not the worst, but one of them, was they stole the name of socialism. It isn't. And, in fact, one of the first things that they did after the revolution is during the revolution, there were a lot of workers who took over their businesses and ran them as co-ops. Mm-hmm. And the Soviet state took them over.
Right.
And destroyed the co-ops in the Soviet Union. Yeah. So that it's really sad that so many of the so-called friends of socialism say it is state ownership, and of course the enemies do, but that's not it at all. It is free enterprise co-ops, because co-ops are free enterprise. They buy and sell on the market, but they're owned by the workers.
Got it. Well said, Lawrence, and thank you for setting the record straight. You're absolutely right. And I can tell you, Louise and I, when we went to Spain, we did this program from Barcelona for a week. And when we went to Spain and we went to Mondragon and visited the town Mondragon, and we were standing on this assembly line. And, this is huge. It was a factory that manufactured washing machines. And there were 5 or 6 people who were in this little assembly area on the line where they were assembling the panels, the control panels that go into them. And a guy came over who was dressed like a supervisor. These people were all wearing kind of like hospital scrubs sorts of things, because they were working, clean and all that. And he came over and had a conversation with them in Spanish or in Castilian or in Basque or whatever. Well, probably it was Basque, actually. And our translator was with us, and my assumption was that he was coming in from management and he was telling them what to do, because our translator said there's going to be a change next Thursday in the way that this factory, that this line, they're changing the design of the circuit board. And so there's a change that's going to happen here in how the circuit boards are assembled. But they had this long exchange, the 5 workers and the 1 manager. And after it was all done and we were walking away, I asked our translator, what was that exchange about? And she said, well, the workers were figuring out how they were going to handle this transition and who was going to do what. And when they had achieved a consensus, they told the manager what they would do. And then he will take that message back to management. It was the exact opposite of what I thought it was, because I was thinking like an American. It was just incredible.